Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. In this video we're going to discuss risk taking and resourcing skills, and this session we're going to be very brief, so feel free to do your own research. If you think that this video is not enough, I will proceed to objective. Firstly, to know the concept of risk and to know why entrepreneur takes risk, to differentiate risk and uncertainty, to learn how to manage risk for entrepreneur advantage, to learn what resources are important and how to manage them, and lastly, to know how strategic resources are very important for sustainability. Okay, this is a list of entrepreneur situation. You can read and practice them, but some of the item is not necessarily true. For example, often started with big company and then quit. Entrepreneurs may start with small company and continue to grow. It's no problem. It's not necessarily you need to go to big company and quit. Or you may heard that their campus drop out. Okay, it's not necessarily true. Okay, this is the other slide of entrepreneur situation. Many of them is very good. Okay, very good guidelines, so you can practice them. Okay, risk taking skills. Okay, what is risk taking skill? This is some quotes. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. So this is about risks. You can have this quote for your inspiration. The root word of risk morphology, okay, we have in Arabic, in Latin, French, English. Okay, you can have this kind of morphology or the origin of the word. Okay, risk is good or bad. Of course, there is good or there is pro and cons for risk, but risk is very important if you want to embark in business. Good because it provides opportunity, investment. It helps us to be meticulous, alert, and always mindful when making decision. Bad because unpredictable, leads to stress, anxiety. In short, you need to take risks. Not necessarily in business, in your everyday life, you have to take risks, whether it's small kind of risk or big risk. What is concept of risk? Risk is a concept that denotes a potential negative impact to an asset or some characteristic of value. Okay, this is concept of risk. You can read this concept, but in brief, if you have risk, there's potential that you will have negative impact to your property or asset or your business. Okay, the second point, the probability of loss. Okay, this is risk. Okay, definition of risk and uncertainty. Okay, you may think that uncertainty is quite similar to risk, but the term is very different. Okay, so we have Webster's dictionary, Frank Knight. Okay, this you can read the definition of risk and uncertainty. So Webster's dictionary, possibility of loss or injury, whereas uncertainty, indefinite, indeterminate, not known beyond a doubt. Or by Frank and Knight, it is present when future events occur with measurable probability, whereas uncertainty is present when likelihood of future event is indefinite or incalculable. So in short, risk you can measure it. Okay, uncertainty you cannot measure it. It's unmeasurable. So for risk you can calculate something. For uncertainty you cannot calculate. Risk still definition, so you can go through one by one. This is also still definition. Okay, you can go through. Okay, distinction between risk and uncertainty by Frank Knight. We have long wording here. I would say that the main point is risk is measurable. Okay, measurable for risk. Okay, whereas for uncertainty is unmeasurable. Okay, this only the main point. Risk in decision making. Some points. Only risk takers are truly free. All decision or consequence involve risk. Okay, meaning that if you want to make decision, you cannot run from having risk. Okay, there is no such thing as permanent security. Okay, so do not afraid to face some risk. Okay, because if you want to make decision, you must face the risk. Okay, tackling risk in decision making, you must to decide whether the risk is necessary or desirable, meaning that not all risk you need to have it. Take the necessary risk only. Okay, if it is not necessary, do not take the risk. Okay, this is a guideline how whether you want to have the risk or not, or tackling the risk. You need to have goals. You need to determine the possible loss, make estimates. Okay, when possible, take one risk at a time. Okay, do not take too many risks at one time. Okay, this is 11 steps. Okay, how to make wiser decision. So we will go through briefly. Firstly, define what you want. Okay, define the decision that you need to make, and write down as many alternatives. Seek information about the alternative. Check the alternative. Okay, find the specific of each option, and you can sort through the alternative, evaluate. Okay, visualize the outcome, do reality check, and find the alternative that fit best of your situation. Okay, eventually get started and review. Okay, along the road. Okay, remember you can always change your mind. Okay, kind of very long list, but mainly you need to define what you want to do, and list down the alternative, check the alternative, choose the best option, and once you decided, you can get started and always review the performance. If you think that the decision is bad, you can always change your mind, go back and review and start all together if you can. Okay, characteristic of risk and uncertainty, as we discussed earlier. So risk measurable, okay, uncertainty unmeasurable. Okay, other than that, it quantifiable, deliberate, insurable, meaning that you can buy insurance to secure it. Objective, you can have some kind of statistic to examine the situation, whereas the uncertainty is quite opposite of risk. Okay, entrepreneurial risk, there are many risks involved with entrepreneurial situation. For example, we have, of course, financial risk. If you want to embark on some project, it involves a financial element. Like you want to invest something, if you want to borrow from the bank, there is financial risk. Okay, we have also business operation, product or service. If you want to have a new product, or you want to offer new service, there's always risk for that. Okay, career risk. Okay, if you want to decide some career, there's always big risk for that. Family and social risk, psychic and health, political, unpredictable and uncontrollable risk. This kind of risk very special because you cannot control it, so don't worry about this uncontrollable. You can just leave it to the situation. Okay, this is typology of entrepreneur risk. We have dimension of financial risk. Okay, financial risk. This is high. High meaning that you want to accept risk. Low meaning that you want to avoid risk. Okay, for the other dimension, which is profit motive, for if you choose low profit, it more on activity seeking, and if you have high profit, you more focus on profit seeking. Okay, I hope you can understand that. Okay, risk management is the process of identifying risks in advance, assessing the likely occurrence, taking steps to reduce or eliminate them. So in short, we have three basic process. Firstly, to identify the risk. Okay, we have to identify the risk in advance. Secondly, you want to assess the risk. Okay, you want to assess the risk. You want to evaluate the likelihood of occurrence. And lastly, you take steps to reduce, or if you can eliminate them, you can get rid of it. Okay, we have many tools. Okay, many tools for risk management. The most popular one is take insurance. You can have the insurance to cover part of your loss. Okay, risk management in small business, so very vital, very important. We have common type of losses such as theft, fire, flood, and so on. Okay, such losses can affect day-to-day operation, reduce profit, can also make the business bankrupt. Okay, so that's why risk management is very important. Okay, this is entrepreneur's behavior as far as risk taking is concerned. So in terms of behavior, this risk taking is a skill. Okay, this is not something you're born with. This is skill, and you need to learn, you need to practice, you need to always concern about it, so that you have a skillful of entrepreneurs with regard to risk. So another part is do not fear, do not take unnecessary risks, perceive as opportunity. This is the different paradigm of entrepreneur. They perceive risk as opportunity. Okay, this is the mindset. Okay, we discussed earlier about the mindset. So for entrepreneur's mindset, when they see risk, they see it as opportunity. Okay, and lastly, perceive risk as challenge to trigger them to behave entrepreneurially. Okay, so this is a very important part with regard to entrepreneurs' behavior. This is entrepreneurs' behavior with regard to risk. They see it as opportunity, they see it as challenge, and this kind of behavior or this kind of characteristic is a skill that need to be learned, practiced in their daily life. So next part, we're going to discuss enterprise resourcing skill. Okay, we have types of resources here. There's so many resources, manpower, material, and so on. We have strategy and common resources. What is strategic resources? So strategic resources refer to resources which provide sustained competitive advantage. For example, you have special kind of manpower, very special skill. This kind of special talented people is your strategic resources. Or you have IP or secret recipe that very unique to your business. So this kind of resource, we call that strategic, and this kind of resources can make the firm grow and grow in the future. And the other side of it is common resources. So common resources necessary, very important for carry out usual activity, meaning the day-to-day activity, but not provide specific advantage. Not specific advantage meaning that we not say that there is no benefit of it. We say it's very necessary for day-to-day activity, but no specific advantage. It refers to competitive advantage here. Okay, so common resources, we can say common asset like furniture, common workers like normal workers that can be replaced easily, and so on. Okay, I hope you can differentiate between strategic and common. So strategy is very special. Common resources is normal resources that can be replaced easily. Strategic resources cannot be replaced easily. Okay, as we mentioned earlier, strategic resources valuable, rare, non-substitutable, okay, hard to copy. Okay, key factors to consider with regard to resources. We have critical or non-critical, in terms of suppliers, cost, competitive advantage. You need to select properly the resources in terms of is that important, or whether we have the supplier, what about the cost, and so on. So resource management, we have some guideline here in terms of time. Okay, timely, meaning that the best resources is timely, just in time, for example, meaning that we only have resources when we want to have it. Otherwise it can be a waste if you have some resource but you not use it. Okay, to avoid waste, of course, we have material requirement planning to ensure smooth operation. Okay, creativity and innovation in resource management, in acquire resourcing. Okay, if you want to buy or get resource, better you have in terms of cost, cheap, reusable, if you can have that, multi-purpose and recyclable. Okay, but of course you need to make sure it's efficient, reduce waste, and generate revenue. In conclusion, risk and resources are two things that entrepreneurs must know to deal with. Risk and resources very important. If you want to get resources, there is always risk for that. There are two things that entrepreneurs must know, and to know how to manage them. So since business is risky, entrepreneurs need to weigh the decision carefully. Okay, in terms of making decision, they need to consider the risk of it. So in order to grab opportunities and to perform, managing resources is essential. Okay, it's essential. You need to manage resources in terms of your human power, in terms of your IP or your intellectual property. You need to be very careful of it, because that your strategic resources. You also need to manage your common resources. And yes, class, I think this all for this chapter, risk and resources. I hope you can understand the gist of it, and you can always Google or do your research to understand more about risk and resources, how to manage risk, how to manage resources, how entrepreneur perceive risk. Okay, not as threat but as opportunity. How entrepreneur manage resources in terms of timing, in terms of efficiency, in terms of planning, and so on. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your attention again, and see you next time.